So it seems like a lot of people disagree that Jaylen Brown is not a two-way player, meaning he said to the world that he is the best in the world and in the NBA, that he is the best on offense and defense, the best two-way player on earth. Now, I would agree with that. I would also disagree with that because you got to also include all positions, meaning the bigs, the power forwards, and the centers. If you include Giannis and Wemby, come on now. Obviously, the best player that plays defense on planet Earth is Victor Wembanyama, the next face of the league once LeBron retires. Then, secondly, it would be Giannis. But if you just talk about guards and guys that, you know, in the guard position, the forward position, that are not bigs, that are not 7-footers, that are not, you know, like if you exclude them, Jaylen Brown's up there as a top 5. He has a case for being number 1 best two-way player on earth. If you don't include bigs, because I feel like if you're a big, it doesn't really count. I feel like it's half a point because you're taller than everybody else. You're the tallest position. You're taller than everybody on the court. There's only one player, or at most 2, that are their same height or even taller. Everyone else is like around the same height, and you're taller than them. So if you're like Giannis and Wemby, bro, they're like 6'11", 7 feet. Come on now, they're 4s and 5s, power forwards and centers. They 4s and 5s don't count as defenders, bro. That's what they're supposed to do. They're taller than everybody. Of course, they're gonna be able to block your shot. Of course, you're gonna be able to contest it better than everybody else. Of course, they're gonna protect the rim. Of course, they're gonna do more things that somebody that's like 6'2", 6'6" won't be able to. Most of them won't, right? Some 6'2", 6'4", 6'6" can, but it was very rare, right? If they're 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet, 7'5", like Victor Wembanyama is, of course, they're like, it makes sense that they're the best players that can play defense in the NBA. It's obvious, it's common sense. But if you exclude the bigs, Jaylen Brown has a case as being a top 5 defender on planet Earth. I mean, I remember when there was a recording of him telling his coach, Joe, hey, let me guard Luka. And this was in the finals. And he ended up winning finals MVP. So he has a strong case. He has a resume. He has the stats and the eye test. Even though I haven't seen him much myself, you know, he's claiming it out there. He's putting it out there in the air. He's basically saying, you know, debate it. Now, obviously, with Jaylen Brown saying that he is the best two-way player on planet Earth, meaning he can play good on offense and good on defense. Now, we have to understand and note that he has a lot of burden. With Jason Tatum out, he has to put up a lot of points. So the burden on that end is understandable. Now, the fact that he has to come on the other side and play the defense, you got to take that into account. Now, the way I see it is, if you just talk about, the reason why this is so hard to pick a number 1 for a lot of these positions, or give a certain person a title and let them have it, is because you got to really be very specific with the question and specific with the factors. Now, if you include the factor of who has the massive burden of playing offense and defense on both ends, and if you include all positions, it's obviously Jaylen Brown, Giannis, and Wemby are in that position, because them 3 have to score a lot of points and also decide to play defense and shut down the best player. Now, if you just talk about defenders, most defenders that are the best in the league don't have to worry about scoring 25, 30, even 40 points a night, even 50 sometimes every game. You know, like Lou Dort, Caruso. These guys don't have to worry about scoring 30 like Shea does, right? But the point is that Lou Dort is a top 5, top 10 defender. Now, people can say, oh, he's the best defender in the world. People can say, oh, it's somebody else. But the point is that if you just talk about, now the question now is just who is the best defender defending 1 through 5, and they don't have to worry about offense. Now the question becomes more complicated, because if you want to just focus on who can defend the best, all 5 positions, it is very, very, very rare, right? Even the best, the elite, the top 5, most of them can at most can only go or defend, at most can only defend 1 through 4. It is very rare. If a player can guard 1 through 5 well, then they have a case for being up there as the best defender, right? Now, if you can only guard 1 position or 2 positions, then obviously, you're not really top 5, not even top 10, not even top 15, in my opinion. The more positions you can guard, the more you can get stops, and for that, then obviously you have a case. And you add in that you do offense, then of course, if you add in the factor of both offense and defense, then you have a case for the player you decide, whether it's Giannis, Wemby, or Brown. Now, we just talk about defense alone. Who can guard 1 through 5? We seen Caruso guard Jokic in the playoffs last year. We seen him doing it against Wemby. Now, here's the thing: it becomes very, it gets very tricky, right? He was able to guard Jokic well, but he wasn't able to guard another center and Wemby well. So, obviously, you may guard a few centers, a few fours, a few threes good, but you may not be able to guard them all in every position well. Right? However, the point is, the more players you can guard from each position, I think that gives you a stronger case for being the best defender in the league. So if you give me a player right now in the comments, and they can guard more than their own position, and they can get stops on them, that makes them the best defender. That doesn't make them the best two-way player. That just makes them the best defender in the NBA, because they can guard all positions and get stops on all positions. Now, if they have to worry about offense, that's a different thing. Now, offensive players alone, like SJ, Jokic, that's different. We're talking about just strictly defense here now.